Oh, so according to the information coming through, is that the bill, that is the illegal constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026, has passed through the Parliament of Zimbabwe for the third time. Things not looking very, very well for the people of Zimbabwe. Remember, we have never shied as a channel that this bill is an illegal bill. It is not in the best interest of the people of Zimbabwe. It appears the members of parliament have already signed the bill. So it was the last process. Now the bill has to go to Emerson Mnangagwa to be ascended. It appears they are racing against the time, and Mnangagwa wants to conclude the process as soon as possible. Most Zimbabweans pinning their hope on, that is retired General Chiwenga, capable at this stage to stop the Emerson Mnangagwa, who is determined to make sure that this bill sails, it has already sails through the parliament, and it has been voted overwhelmingly by both CCC MPs as well as also the ZANU-PF MPs. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So let's listen as the numbers were announced by the Speaker of Parliament. I think let me just go through that video.
The result of the count is that 226 honorable members voted in favor of the third reading of the bill. And 41 voted against the bill. The number of affirmative votes recorded is not less than two-thirds of the membership of the National Assembly. I therefore declare the final votes in the National Assembly on the Constitution of Zimbabwe, Amendment number 3, Bill HD1B 2026, to have been in accordance with the provisions of Section 328, subsection 5 of the Constitution, declared to read the bill the third time.
So that's it. The bill has been voted for by the majority of the members of parliament. ZANU-PF getting 226 votes in the National Assembly, and part of the MPs who voted for this bill being CCC members of parliament. Let's hear what Ziyambi had to say about the future of this bill. From here, where does it go? Okay. From here, according to Ziyambi,
to transmit the bill to His Excellency for his signature. Thereafter, it will be gazetted. It will become part of our constitution.
How soon do you think that will be?
That question can only be answered by the Speaker. The faster the bill is transmitted to His Excellency, I think if His Excellency, normally when he gets bills, he assents to them as and when he gets them.
okay, so as you heard Ziyambi, he says now what is left is for the bill to be transmitted to Emerson Mnangagwa to assent it. I can attest to you that within maybe less than 24 hours, we may hear the news that he has assented to the bill. He saw the 7th of July as a faraway date. but it was quite near for this bill to be actually finalized. That is why he had to summon the parliament as quickly as possible so that the parliament convenes today and vote for this bill. So the third reading as well as also the voting has been done by the parliament. Now, Jacob Mutenda, as we are speaking through the clerk of parliament, will have to send the bill to Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa as soon as possible. You could tell that Mnangagwa is in a hurry. So as we are speaking, maybe because these events happened an hour ago, who would have thought that the processes of parliament would be done so fast and so quickly, whilst Zimbabweans are still focused on what is happening in the neighboring country, South Africa. Indeed, it's a concern for the African continent, not only for us Zimbabweans. We can only pray that our relatives are safe in South Africa, as Afrophobia as well as xenophobia take center stage. So now the bill is in the hands of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Without doubt, I can actually predict that within less than 24 hours, he would have signed this bill and it being gazetted, and thereafter it becomes a part of the laws of the Republic of Zimbabwe. It appears Zimbabweans at the moment, they are losing a race, or they have lost a race, because the parliamentary process has been concluded by the members of parliament. So CAB3 has been achieved at the moment by Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. The only thing that could actually stop him is swift military intervention, just like what happened to Robert Gabriel Mugabe. But is that a possibility from the look of things, or actually Zimbabweans protesting, using their right to protest, not necessarily having to go through the Zimbabwe Republic Police to say enough is enough about Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa and his shenanigans? Are Zimbabweans brave enough to do so? I don't think so, because what Mnangagwa has successfully achieved is to intimidate Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans, although very few protest, but not in their overwhelming numbers. So as we are speaking at the moment, the bill is in the hands of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. If he will sign it, of which from the look of things, he would not have summoned the members of parliament in a haste if he didn't want the process to be completed as soon as possible. Remember, he has to actually make his wife to be the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe by the 31st of July. It makes sense what Knox Chivero has shared with the people of Zimbabwe. And now someone is asking me, what about the Constitutional Court challenges? Definitely, we may maybe see people launching challenges to the Constitutional Court, but do you think the Constitutional Court that is controlled by Zwikanandas and bankrolled by Zwikanandas will actually be an avenue to stop what Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa has heavily invested in for the past 2 years, faced so much opposition, but still continued to push this illegal process? The bill is illegal. What has happened in Zimbabwe, it's illegal. What has happened in Zimbabwe today is retrogressive, and also it's bad news for democracy in Zimbabwe, as the authoritarian leader has gotten away with an illegal process. Now it's in his hands, and he has been pushing this. He has spent a lot of money on this. I can actually tell you that someone says this will happen overnight, and at sunrise he will announce that yes, definitely. Now that and Mnangagwa is not someone who is ashamed. He knows that the secret of what he intends to do with his wife is known. So he wants now to push it as fast as possible. To him, it's a race. And to him, at the moment, you can tell he is fighting, is saying in simple terms to the faction of retired General Chiwenga, bring it on, looking at what he is doing even to the supporters of retired General Chiwenga who have publicly opposed this illegal constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026. It is indeed a bad news for the people of Zimbabwe at the moment. Just imagine having to go to a country where democracy is not respected at all, where Emerson Mnangagwa is turning the republic into a monarch. I think Robert Gabriel Mugabe, wherever he is, if he had a voice to speak, he would say, I warned you about Emerson Mnangagwa. Of course, also he wanted to create his dynasty. People thought Mnangagwa would be actually a better alternative. He is same as Robert Gabriel Mugabe, because this is the man who was actually hands-on when it comes to the dirty tricks that were done by Robert Gabriel Mugabe. So it's a miscalculation to put him into power and think that he can actually be a better alternative, because what he has learned in his whole life is the template that was used by Robert Gabriel Mugabe to stay in power. Will there be a savior of the people of Zimbabwe at this point in need? Do we have the military generals in charge of the caliber of retired General Chiwenga that can decisively stop Emerson Mnangagwa at this moment? Do we have the war veterans that could actually put pressure, as Blessed Geza and others did, leading to the days of 2017 coup? That remains the mammoth task at hand. I'm sure Blessed Geza may be turning in his grave, but he promised us that he will fight even in his grave to make sure that what we are witnessing today in Zimbabwe will never see the light of the day. I can attest to you that Emerson Mnangagwa is seemingly very, very closer to the finishing line. Will he finish and maybe most probably be targeted after putting this bill in place? At the moment, what is left is for his signature to take away the powers that the military had in 2017. And I can attest to you, any moment from now, maybe he has already signed it, because Ziyambi was asked, when are we expecting the signature of Emerson Mnangagwa to be on this bill? He said this would be determined by the Speaker of Parliament. And I can tell you the pompous Jacob Mutenda may be in the house of Emerson Mnangagwa at the moment as we are speaking. And the bill might have been signed already, but we will see how they will maneuver around. Is there anyone who can stand for Zimbabwe at the moment and stop this nonsense that has just happened at the moment? That is the mind-boggling question that I'm sure is at every Zimbabwean. Are Zimbabweans ready to fight for themselves against the authoritarian regime of Emerson Mnangagwa? That remains also a mind-boggling question at this moment in time. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button, so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Is side, let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you more.